Channel 6. Greetings, folks, and welcome to today's show. We've been reminding you for some time that the election season is upon us. We're now looking at the election just about 6 weeks or so away on August the 7th. That's a very important election. It is the final vote for all of the city and county positions and the primary vote for all of the state and federal positions. So it's a big deal, and I hope you'll take it seriously and get out there and vote a little better than we have been doing. Today's guest is a gentleman on the county commission, Rush Bricken, who has been on there for some time. We'll find out in a minute how long. Rush is a key figure because he is the chairman of the Budget and Finance Committee. So all of the dollars that we have to deal with in the county, both in expenditures and in taxes, starts in his shop. And of course what they do affects all of us. There was another candidate invited to show today who's running against Rush, but when I invited him, he just said no thanks, and that was it. So Larry Allen by name. Running as an independent, I think. Well, Rush, thanks for joining us today. And
Tom, it's always a pleasure. Been here before, and thanks Channel 6, and always like to be in your studio, so fire away.
Good. Okay, well, let's start. Refresh us. How long have you been on the commission?
Off and on for about 30 years.
Wow.
So, but I have lost some, tied some, and won some. So
wow.
My first term was back in '82.
But you've been off some and then back on? Oh, so you like it.
I don't know I'll go that far, but I generally have enjoyed being involved in county government. It fulfills kind of a civic role for me. Something that, as I said, my parents says if you complain about issues, you should be willing to get involved, and so
yeah.
Or maybe not complain. If you're concerned about issues, you should be involved. I shouldn't use the term complain, even though I seem like I complain about a lot of things. So.
Okay. Well, I know you devote a lot of time to it. The job you've got is a tough one. So, well, okay. Let's take a short commercial break, folks, and we'll come back and talk some about the budget.
The highest standard of trust offers a sense of safety and comfort. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of trust in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard. Because residents matter most.
Welcome to Merle Norman, located inside Northgate Mall in Tullahoma. Since 1931, Merle Norman Cosmetics have been researched, developed, manufactured, and packaged in the USA, using the highest quality ingredients and unmatched customer service to help women look and feel better about themselves.
Hi there, I'm Christy Almacher, owner of Merle Norman. I want to talk to you a little bit today about Merle Norman products. We have a large line of skincare and cosmetics for all skin types. Merle Norman's motto is try before you buy, so we'd love for you to come in, talk to us about your concerns, try the products, and we want you to feel good when you leave here, so we hope to see you soon.
Want to feel good in your skin? Visit Merle Norman in Northgate Mall, Tullahoma.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Mont Eagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
We're talking with Rush Bricken today, folks, who is running for re-election to the County Commission. And Rush is the chair of the Budget and Finance Committee. So he's the guy who's been wrestling with the budget and where they're going to raise the money for our operations for next year. Rush, if you would, let's give the folks a little summary of what your budget is, and you've been working on this thing for a couple of months, trying to whittle it down and come up with something, and so you probably have some pluses and minuses during that period. So give the folks a little summary of what's going on.
All right. First of all, the overall county budget, all revenues and expenditures, is about, I'm going to say, $68 million, Tom. But the county property taxes that all the citizens in the county, Tullahoma, Manchester, and outside those cities pay, raises about $30 million, okay? And so that is the issue we focus on, because it's the ultimate property tax payers that I'm going to say we have the tax rate that this commission has control over. The other money comes in, and the biggest majority of that is like goes to the county school systems through the state revenue sharing, BEP, those type programs, reimbursements from the, again, state and federal governments, to whether it's the sheriff's departments, and then fees and fines raised by the different clerks' offices and things like that. So that's the other portion of that 60-something million dollars. But
$38 million from other sources, really.
But the $30 million is the big number, and right now we're facing roughly a $3.5 million budget shortfall, which is around 32 cents. And we've been working on this
32 cents property tax
right now
to pay for that.
The budget that's last presented, that worked on to this point, is a 32-cent increase, which for the uniform tax rate that the citizens of Tullahoma pays, that equates to a 13% tax increase. So that's the percent that everybody needs to focus on. So whatever your county property tax bill last year was, right now, if nothing changes, add 13% to that.
Yeah.
So that is a significant tax increase. In my 30 years, roughly, as a commissioner, we've never seen that large of an increase. And it's broken down to two big components. We're putting a new jail online this year, and the cost of that new jail, the budgeted cost, is around $1.7 million additional to what we're currently paying for jail operations. So the annual cost...
1.7 of your 3.5, in other words.
Right. Roughly half of the 3.5 is related to the jail. The other half really is we brought down the fund balance from last year by $1.2 million. Sorry, the things you don't ever want to think about. I forgot to turn that off. But anyway,
well, let me ask it a little different way. What I think you're saying is that you borrowed $1 million or $1.2 million last year.
Well, we just used our savings account. We used the county savings account,
which is kind of a rainy day fund, really, that you're trying to preserve, I guess. Isn't it?
To a degree. I mean, it's a fund balance, and again, it's supposed to absorb some of the fluctuations. You're required to keep a 4% of your county budget in a fund, which is around $600,000 or $700,000. So we were fortunate for a lot of different reasons to have a fund balance last year, and we knew going into this year that we were going to cannibalize that or pull off that savings account. We were somewhat hoping that some of the sources that gave us that fund balance the previous year, and these are things that you can't budget extremely well. There's usually state and federal monies that comes in above what you estimate, and they came in the year before. This year, instead of coming higher, they were actually lower. So we got caught short. So But so that's the dilemma we're in. But the jail cost is probably the thing that all citizens should be most troubled with. And when I use the term, we're spending $4.5 to $5 million a year under the new jail to incarcerate citizens, okay? Our new jail, our current jail population is 300. This jail will hold 400 inmates. For anyone that's been in long-term Coffee County, it's just, to think we have that many citizens that needs to be incarcerated, it surprises me as much as close as I've been to it. I mean, this is no longer Mayberry, okay? I don't know how far back you want to go, but I talk to old timers that says, gosh, I can remember when there was only 10 or 20 people in the jail.
Well, we kind of did that to ourselves several years ago, when we decided we'd lock up all the bad boys, and they came out with mandatory sentencing, took the discretion away from the judges, and so...
we have, and I've shared this story, and I think every time we put legislation in, some of the unintended consequences we don't think about. And we're near the consequences are showing up, and we're all paying for it. And society certainly needs to be a civilized society. Genuine lawbreakers and criminals certainly needs to be put away and for the safety of our citizens. But we really have a problem, and it's certainly outside the scope of this commission. I mean, it's a state level, federal level issue. But go ahead. I mean, getting back to the budget, but it is important because that $5 million is going to go on and continue to grow. The current jail will hopefully be in operation late fall. We plan on maintaining the workhouse program, which I think is a good deal. It does give any person incarcerated, inmate, a way to work off their time twice as fast, and it gets some utilization to the citizens in whether it's litter pickup, whether it's tire removal, whether it's public works areas. So that's a good thing. But those two are the biggest issues we're facing, and we're going to be working on the budget. The budget the other night, again, the new fiscal year starts July 1. We don't have a new budget. We just continue the old budget. We have another meeting July 24th. I hope this commission will establish a budget and a tax rate then, but I'm very skeptical 2 weeks before the election that we'll get a budget and a new tax rate. So I think likely there'll be a call meeting in August, and hopefully this commission will act then. And I've shared, the new commission doesn't go on board till September. The new elected, whoever's elected in August. I don't think it's fair for that new commission to be faced with this issue, because we have to set a tax rate by September 15th in order for the bills to get out by October 31st and such. So anyway, that's the kind of timeline. So we're dealing with.
Let me throw in a little wrinkle. We're just about to run out of time. I want to bring up the facts that we have talked to earlier about trying to get a wheel tax going to put some relief on the property tax, and that's not happened yet.
We'll talk about it.
Let's take a short commercial break, folks, though, and we'll be right back.
We've got Kias coming out of our ears at Russell Barnett Kia. We've never had this much inventory to choose from, and that means it's a great time to buy. Check out the 2014 Kia Optima, 0% financing available in 60 months, or up to $6,000 off select Kia Sorrentos. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. So come on down and help us clean out our ears at Russell Barnett Kia. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
Don't risk losing the Social Security disability benefits you have earned. I'm Russell Hedges with Moore & Hedges, Attorneys at Law. I bring over 25 years of experience and dedication to your case. My Social Security team will walk you through the process. We can increase your chances of winning and maximize the benefits due to you. If we do not win, you will not owe us a fee. Call me, Russell Hedges, with Moore & Hedges, Attorneys at Law, for maximum returns and minimum concerns.
A salute to the never wasters, the coupon clippers, switch flippers, one last drop of milk drippers, the thoughtfully thrifty, and the just plain cheap. Charter respects your economic IQ and honors it with a phone service worthy of your ever-watchful wallet. Charter Phone, just $19.99 a month, for real monthly savings for fabulously frugal folks like you. Switch to Charter Phone and get unlimited local and long distance and 13 calling features with no extra fees like the phone company charges you.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham from the News Channel 5 Weather Center. Look to Jim Fuller and crew for local news night here on Channel 6.
We're talking today, folks, with Rush Bricken, who is the standing for re-election as one of the county commissioners, and also is the chairman of the Budget and Finance Committee. So we're talking mostly about money. Before the break, Rush, I put in the fact that we had talked some about a wheel tax, which, if you could use it, would bring a lot of relief to the property tax and would just be a different way of paying it. But $50 wheel tax, for example, would
$2.5 million.
Yeah, would make a major dent in your shortfall. And so any property tax increase would be minimal as a result. But you don't think we have a prayer of getting that done?
Well, no. I'll back up a little bit. At the earlier June meeting, the wheel tax resolution to get it on the August ballot was defeated. Okay. The other night, the wheel tax proposal, the $50 wheel tax proposal, was tabled to July, just to be certain that we couldn't get this budget more reduced. Okay. It's very likely at the July meeting, the majority of the commissioners, again, there's 21 county commissioners, so it takes 11 to pass any simple majority. I think the votes will be there to get it on the November 4th general election.
That's just a majority vote.
That's just a majority vote to get it on the ballot, to let the public decide. Do they want to pay a $50, and I'm going to use the term, it's a vehicle use tax rather than a wheel tax. As crazy as it might sound, people have come up to me and says, $50, that's going to be $200 per car. No, a $50 wheel tax is a vehicle use tax. So
good point.
We got. I will say that.
Change our terminology.
But the commission can only pass a wheel tax by 2/3 vote of the commission at 2 consecutive meetings. And those votes are clearly not there. And the sentiment, and I agree with it, is the public should have the right to choose this. I wish it was going to be on the August ballot, because if it passed, then we would still have time to reassess the tax rate before it went into effect in September. By being in November, we don't have that option. It will be next fiscal year before, if it did pass, to reduce the property tax to next year for that. So
we're looking at a 32-cent property tax increase unless somebody takes a meat axe to the budget.
Right, and we've got proposals. There was resolutions the other night to come back and reduce all budgets by 5%. Some can absorb, some are more. I think all the departments and all the offices in our county have put together good budgets. Most of them are exactly identical, no increases from the prior year, some reductions. So the county elected offices have, I think, done a good job. And if we did not have this jail issue, and if we did not utilize the savings fund balance from the prior year, we would not be looking at hardly any tax increase. So that's just the situation. And I understand when these departments come up to our committee meeting and says, you're hammering us for something we didn't cause, and it's true. They've done a good job. The county school system, a new middle school's coming online, and their budget shows no increase. Whether you agree with any issues of the county school system, Dr. McFall has done an admirable job in presenting the commission a no increase for the county educational system, and still bringing a new school online.
You helped her out though by finessing moving the bus. She wanted $400,000 for buses, and you put that over in a different pot.
Well, the rural commissioners have agreed to let the rural commission gets part of the county gets a sales tax % off any sales in the county outside the municipalities. So it truly is sales tax that should be used for outside the municipal purposes, and they have agreed to use their rural tax fund to absorb the buses, which I'm glad they stepped up to that. It certainly helped the general fund out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the wheel tax dilemma.
But now Manchester and Tullahoma don't have that privilege.
Well, they don't have.
They can't use the rural debt.
No,
fund.
no. I mean, that was all designed. It gets very complicated. Sales tax and where all your sales tax pieces go, even confuses me. So. But they're all prescribed by statute, so okay. We don't have a lot of latitude there. So
we're looking at realistically, you're looking at they either taking a really serious hit at the budgets of everybody, or facing a pretty whopping property tax, and there's no way around that until if the vehicle use tax passed in November, that would be a big help next year, but not this year.
You summarized it well. I don't want to lose this chance, Tom, just to say one thing too. Deals with the libraries. During all the budget issues and meetings, there were some rhetoric about library closures and things like that. I want to assure everyone it was purely rhetoric. Kind of posturing. There's certainly no will of this county commission and certainly myself to close any libraries. So I'm fully support both libraries. I think the library system of our county does an admirable job. Okay.
Yeah, you attracted a little attention, all right.
Well, and again, I'm glad to the extent, and I've shared this, to the extent the library has gotten some publicity and hopefully generated some support for our libraries, because people forget how important they are, and sometimes it takes a little bit of a challenge to bring out some supporters. So yeah. I hope they became somehow a benefactor of that. But that issue is not non-existent. Okay. So
very good. Well, and if we're not going to get much benefit out of it, I think putting in a plug for the vehicle use tax. Mm-hmm. Most of the counties in the state have one.
The majority do.
Anywhere from $10 to $100, I guess. Well,
everyone can debate that. It does broaden the tax base. I mean, and when we're talking about property taxes, again, every residential homeowner, your assessed value is 25%. If you're a commercial property owner, it's 40%. The combined taxes, the municipal county taxes, will put our county, it's usually number 1 or 2 in the highest property taxes in the state. The only person usually higher is Memphis, Shelby County. That's wrong. I mean, we got some issues here that's outside probably of this forum, Tom, on how our county governments, and I use those terms, our three governments operate.
We'll have a separate philosophical discussion of that. He's talking about metro government, folks, and
I am talking about trying to improve the joint operations of three governments, whether it's metro or something else.
Right.
But something, it's inefficient running three separate governments.
Well, with that, folks, we're going to have to take a short commercial break and wrap up. We've run out of time.
Imagine a world with more birthdays. We strive for it every day. We fight to get people the best access to care and the chance for more parties to plan. We're the American Cancer Society. Help create a world with more birthdays at morebirthdays.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
We've been talking today, folks, with Rush Bricken, who's had the running for re-election, and he's had the tough job of trying to put the county budget together, and is confronting a very serious tax issue for us. So it's a tough proposition, folks, and we're going to have to step up. Rush, you got a brief word you would like to say to the folks? A minute's worth? A
minute's worth? Well, certainly anyone in the 21st District, that's the Bel Air District, that's where I live, and again, if you live in there, I certainly appreciate my neighbors and friends coming out in August and hopefully supporting me. If, as a citizen, I would hope you would read the paper. I think Marion Galbraith does a good job in following the county issues. Get involved, come to a commission meeting. The only time we get a crowd there is usually on a controversial issue, and it's usually always on one side. The general citizens are generally sitting home, and we could use your support. So again, get involved. If you have any questions, again, I'm generally easy to reach. So again, I appreciate your support.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, Rush, for taking time to join us. I know it's a complicated issue, and I think we've done a middling job, at least, of making it understandable. And it's a tough proposition, folks, but it's we, the taxpayers, who've got to step up to the plate. So thanks, Rush, for taking time to join us and enlighten us, and thank you, folks, for inviting us into your parlor, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, Tom.